The conflict in Ukraine has entered a brutal new phase, a grinding war of attrition where every inch of territory is fiercely contested. The cities of Toretsk and Pokrovsk, nestled in the Donbas region, have become focal points of this struggle. Ukrainian forces, with unwavering determination, have fought tooth and nail to defend these vital positions. Meanwhile, the city of Chasiv Yar, scarred by months of relentless shelling, stands as a testament to the conflict's devastating toll. Despite Ukrainian gains, control of Chasiv Yar remains divided, a stark reminder that victory in this war will be measured in blood and sacrifice. Despite the immense challenges, Ukrainian forces have demonstrated remarkable resilience. Their recent advances near Toretsk and Pokrovsk offer a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak landscape. These hard-fought gains achieved against a numerically superior enemy underscore the Ukrainian military's growing tactical prowess and unwavering commitment to defending their homeland. However, the situation remains fluid, and the outcome of the battle for Donbas is far from certain. In a stunning display of military audacity, Ukraine launched a massive drone attack on Russian soil, targeting the heart of the Russian bear Moscow. The nighttime raid, involving a staggering 337 drones, sent shockwaves through the Russian capital and beyond. While Russian air defenses scrambled to intercept the incoming drones, the sheer scale of the attack overwhelmed their capabilities. This unprecedented assault, the largest of its kind since the war began, demonstrated Ukraine's growing ability to project force deep inside Russian territory. The attack on Moscow marked a significant escalation in the conflict. It served as a stark reminder that the war in Ukraine is far from contained and that Russia is not immune to the violence it has unleashed upon its neighbor. The psychological impact of the attack, particularly on the Russian populace, cannot be overstated. It shattered the illusion of normalcy that the Kremlin has desperately tried to maintain, exposing the vulnerabilities of the Russian state. While Ukraine has focused on defending Donbas and striking deep into Russian territory, Russia has made its own strategic moves, albeit with less fanfare and arguably less success. In a bid to regain the initiative, Russian forces have launched a renewed offensive in the northern Kursk Oblast, a region bordering Ukraine. This offensive, characterized by relentless artillery bombardments and armored thrusts, has resulted in the capture of several settlements, including Bondarevka, Zamostya, and Makhnovka. Despite facing fierce Ukrainian resistance, Russian forces have advanced deeper into the region, threatening the strategically important town of Sudzha. These gains, however, have come at a heavy cost. The fighting in Kursk Oblast has exposed the limitations of the Russian military, particularly its reliance on outdated tactics and equipment. The human cost of this offensive has also been significant, further depleting Russia's already strained manpower reserves. Beneath the veneer of military might, cracks are appearing in the Russian war machine. Reports from the front lines paint a grim picture of logistical nightmares, equipment shortages, and dwindling morale among Russian troops. Ammunition, once thought to be in plentiful supply, is running low, forcing Russian units to ration their firepower. The situation has become so dire that in a scene seemingly ripped from the pages of a satirical war novel, some Russian troops have resorted to using donkeys for transportation. The logistical woes plaguing the Russian military are not merely anecdotal, they are systemic and deeply rooted. Corruption, poor planning, and sanctions have crippled Russia's ability to sustain its war effort. The image of Russian soldiers relying on donkeys to transport supplies speaks volumes about the dire state of their logistical network. This logistical breakdown, coupled with mounting casualties and declining morale, is taking a heavy toll on the Russian military's combat effectiveness. Amidst the relentless fighting, a glimmer of hope emerged from the diplomatic front. The United States and Ukraine, in a joint effort to de-escalate the conflict, proposed a 30-day ceasefire. This proposal, hammered out during high-level talks in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, calls for a complete cessation of hostilities along the entire front line, including a halt to long-range missile and drone strikes. The proposed ceasefire also includes a moratorium on naval operations in the Black Sea, a key theater in the conflict. The ceasefire proposal, while far from a comprehensive peace agreement, represents a significant step towards ending the bloodshed. The 30-day pause in fighting, if implemented, would provide a much-needed respite for civilians caught in the crossfire and create an opportunity for dialogue between the warring parties. However, the proposal's success hinges on Russia's willingness to participate, a prospect that remains uncertain. The ceasefire proposal has been met with mixed reactions from the international community. European leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, have expressed cautious optimism, urging Russia to seize this opportunity for peace. They have emphasized that a ceasefire is not a goal in itself but a stepping stone towards a negotiated settlement. However, skepticism abounds, particularly given Russia's previous track record of violating ceasefire agreements. Russia, for its part, has remained conspicuously silent on the ceasefire proposal. The Kremlin has yet to issue an official response, leaving the world guessing about its intentions. This silence, however, speaks volumes. It reflects the deep divisions within the Russian leadership over the war's objectives and the potential costs of continuing the conflict. The Kremlin's silence is a clear indication that the path to peace in Ukraine remains fraught with obstacles. In a significant development, the United States has resumed security assistance and intelligence sharing with Ukraine after a brief pause. This resumption of aid, announced in conjunction with the ceasefire proposal, signals a renewed commitment by the Biden administration to supporting Ukraine's defense against Russian aggression. The initial tranche of aid includes a range of military equipment drawn from U.S. stockpiles, including ammunition, anti-tank weapons, and secure communication systems. The resumption of U.S. aid is a major boost for Ukraine's war effort. It provides the Ukrainian military with much-needed resources to sustain its operations and resist Russian advances. Beyond the immediate material impact, the resumption of U.S. aid carries significant symbolic weight. It sends a clear message to Moscow that the United States remains steadfast in its support for Ukraine and will not allow Russia to achieve its objectives through military force. The renewed U.S. commitment to Ukraine extends beyond immediate military aid. The Biden administration has also pledged to deepen economic ties with Ukraine, recognizing the country's strategic importance and economic potential. As part of this effort, the U.S. and Ukraine have agreed to finalize a deal on developing Ukraine's vast critical mineral resources. These minerals, essential for the production of advanced technologies, hold the key to Ukraine's economic future. This partnership on critical mineral development is a win-win for both countries. For Ukraine, it represents a lifeline for its war-torn economy, providing much-needed investment and jobs. For the United States, it secures access to vital resources, reducing its reliance on geopolitical rivals. This partnership underscores the growing strategic convergence between the U.S. and Ukraine, a relationship forged in the crucible of conflict. The confluence of these recent developments, the ceasefire proposal, the resumption of U.S. aid, and Russia's uncertain response, has left the world grappling with a perplexing question. What does the future hold for the conflict in Ukraine? The answer, unfortunately, is far from clear. The situation remains highly fluid, characterized by a complex interplay of military, diplomatic, and economic factors, each capable of shifting the trajectory of the war. The ceasefire proposal, while fragile, offers a glimmer of hope, a chance to break the cycle of violence and pursue a negotiated settlement. However, Russia's silence, coupled with its continued military buildup, suggests that the Kremlin may be biding its time, regrouping for a protracted conflict. The resumption of U.S. aid provides Ukraine with a fighting chance, but it is not a guarantee of victory. Ultimately, the future of Ukraine hangs in the balance, shaped by the decisions of leaders in Kyiv, Moscow, and Washington.